Actually, when it comes to the quality of the education, like education wise, at some point I felt disappointed. Oh. I just said to her like, "Excuse me, ma, can I change my course?" She was like, "Okay, yes." Have you paid your fees? I said no. She was like, "Okay, that means you have to pay the fees for the oil and gas engineering. That it's different. I think I had to pay like $600 more or so." And I was like, "Oh, I don't think like I'll pay." I had to prove to these guys that I was not Ghanaian because they were like, "Charlie, you be Ghana boy."
Hey Nigeria, hey universe, what's good, what's poppin'? It's your one and only again, Blue Beatrice Ashford. Let me pick up my glasses. If you're seeing my face for the first time, welcome to the channel. And if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back to the channel.
You're welcome back.
You know what is about to go down, and I'm super excited. Guys, if this looks like what you love to see, keep watching the video. Yanko, why? Please introduce yourself to my audience. Don't know who this man is.
I'm Maurice Kennedy. I'm a poet. Yeah, so I'm the founder of More Life Poetry, convener of More Life Concert, and I'm an event consultant too. So, I'm Nigerian.
I was about to say, you didn't tell us you're Nigerian. Like,
yeah, I'm Nigerian.
Okay, a proud Nigerian or just a Nigerian?
Oh yeah, a proud Nigerian with his PVC. I have my PVC.
Okay, maybe here we'll be sharing his experience. You know how we live over here, schooling in Ghana, experience living in Ghana, and all of those things. Today we're getting to dive straight into his life. I mean, not his life, his life. I mean, his experience living in Ghana, schooling in Ghana, and all of those things, and to know everything now and down. So let us know.
Where do I start from?
Okay, start from the top. Okay. You schooled in, what year did you go to Ghana?
18th January.
Hey, you remember the date?
2013. Yeah, it was a Friday.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I was thinking that women are only the ones that are good with dates. Like they can remember the date, the time, the hour, the minute, what clothes you're wearing.
Oh no, I remember the day very well. Like I have this perfect picture memory of my first day in Ghana. Yeah, and in fact, I think one reason why I remember it so well was that the school was not anything like what I saw on the internet.
Really?
So I was like, nice one.
Nice.
Like Ghana 1 or 0.
Okay. Okay. So you said you went to Ghana in 2013.
Yeah, January.
Wow,
so this is like 10 years.
Wow.
Since the first time I touched Ghana.
Wow. So let us know, like, who actually engineered the process?
Actually, I blame the agent.
Okay.
that
was an agent.
Yeah, someone that okay. Actually, I wanted to study medicine and surgery in Ukraine.
Okay.
And funny enough, those guys. Anyways, thank God, God knows how he does this stuff, right? With the whole Russia thing. Yeah. So, okay, I wanted to study medicine in Ukraine. I got the admission and all, but I didn't get the visa. And then the agent was like, okay, they could send my certificates and all that to a school in Cyprus for pharmacy.
Okay.
And I'm like, I don't want to do pharmacy. And they showed me that, okay, the school has given me admission. And I'm like, yeah, when did I say, So I was like, nah. So they asked me, what about Ghana? And I'm like, to study medicine in Ghana. Because like, I remember the fees, like in dollars and all that. And like, so.
So was it cheaper in Ukraine than Ghana?
Yeah. Like, medicine in Ukraine was cheaper than that. KNUST fees and all that. That's outrageous for a school in West Africa, like, and for a West African too, schooling in another West African country. So I think it was outrageous though. Because thank God, like tuition fees, you were talking about thousands of dollars, hostel fees, thousands, everything, thousands of dollars. I'm like, how did those guys cope, So the agent was like, okay, there's this school in Ghana that they offer biomed.
Okay.
Then after biomed, you could use that degree to apply, for medicine, it was like a pre-med kind of course. And I was like, okay, I prefer that. At least it sounds more, it sounded better than pharmacy.
Yeah.
So I opted for All Nations University to study biomed. So that was what was in my admission letter, biomedical engineering. Almost before 18th January, right? Like a few days before that, I had to go to some hospitals in Nigeria to like asked the doctors, so what do biomedical engineers do here? And
Okay.
the doctors were like, what? Like, who is a biomedical engineer? And I'm like, doctor, you're asking me who? I'm
Yeah.
like, nice one, nice one. So that means,
That means it's zero for you. Wow.
yeah. So I'm like, nice one. So if you guys don't know who a biomedical engineer is, that means there's a problem, you know?
Wow.
Yeah. And then that was the truth, though. Like, the biomedical field was not booming in, at
Nigeria.
least here in West African countries. Was not. I think it was even better off in Ghana than Nigeria, because I think what they do here in Nigeria is that people who studied like electrical engineering or whatever,
Yeah.
they just do some training for them to be able to operate
Yeah.
specific
Yeah. Yeah.
equipment and all that, and that's all. So they don't really need someone who a biomedical whatever. So
Yeah.
so while I was on transit, I was on the flight, right? So inside the airplane, I was like, what can I study? So that, what can I study that even if I don't even get to do masters, I
Yeah.
could just start working with my bachelor's degree and all that.
And more.
Yeah, and I'm more like, I had to be very realistic at that
I
point.
know, right?
So I was like, I'm doing oil and gas engineering.
Oh.
So when I got to Ghana that day in the admissions office,
Yeah.
I just asked the lady. If I remember that lady's face very well, like there's this popular cook in the cafeteria. She was the lady's daughter.
Okay. Okay.
Like she was. So
Yeah.
I remember very well, because I just said to her like, "Excuse me, ma, can I change my course?" And she was
Okay.
like,
After that time, you've already registered for biomedical.
"Yeah." Like so, I just met her like, because okay, you have the admission letter,
Yeah.
but they have to like do all those stuff on the
Yeah,
computer
yeah,
and all. So I was like, can I change my course? So she was like, okay, yes. Have you paid your fees? I said no. She was like, okay, that means you have to pay the fees for the oil and gas
Gas,
engineering. That it's different. The
Okay. The fees
yeah,
are different.
the
Yeah.
fees are different. I think I had to pay like $600 more or
Okay.
so,
Okay. Okay.
and I was like, oh, I don't send. Like I'll I'll pay. Yeah. So, anyways, that's how I got into Ghana.
Wow. So let's talk about your let's say your first day in Ghana, or your first experience or encounter with the people, the country and everything.
Okay.
How was it for you? Like, was it strange as compared to where you're coming
Okay,
from?
I think I had a soft landing in a way though, because
Aw.
when I'm from Port Harcourt in Nigeria, right? So when I got to Corridor, I'm asking my Port Harcourt people there, like, oh, Mama Fana, then with the whole our local balance here and all, like we're just flowing and like, actually, so it was like I was in this I was in another branch of Port Harcourt or something.
Yeah.
So, in my own opinion, I was in Port Harcourt. I was in a version of Port Harcourt that had Ghanaians inside. So, I really didn't see myself like I was in
Ghana.
Ghana, to be honest. Yeah, but then, okay, my first day in Ghana, I remember clearly. And I was about entering the school at the old campus and the new campus.
Okay.
So the admission place was the old campus, right? So as I was about entering the gate, I saw this girl like, wow, thank you, Ghana. Like, but then I got to realize she was a Nigerian, but
Okay.
yeah, she was a Nigerian, and till today, I think that's like the first person I saw until today. We are still friends. Yeah. So, although it took like some 3 years after that day before I could say we became friends, but that's like still. But I had a chat with her today. Yeah, to show you like, so that yeah. So I met her, and then I met like 3 of my guys from Port Harcourt that day. So then, but I realized that when I went to like buy food and all that, the communication barrier between
Yeah.
myself and the Ghanaians, I was like, I had to prove to these guys that I was not Ghanaian, because they were like, Charlie, you be Ghana boy, and I was like, no, I'm from. They were just so convinced that I was Ghanaian. I don't know why. Do I look Ghanaian? Well, I don't know.
Guys, let me know in the comment section if it looks Ghanaian. I think it kind of look Ghanaian. I don't know. Maybe kind of.
I think maybe there was this hairstyle that we had to once I caught the
Okay,
hairstyle that was raining back then. So maybe that probably made them feel I was, their Zonto era.
Right.
Yeah. But anyways, my first day in Ghana was beautiful. I had yeah, and I came with plenty naira and dollars. So when I changed it to CD, you know, I could like I didn't even know the value of the currency.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they had this 50 Ghana, right?
Yeah.
So when I paid transportation, and the taxi guy did not even complain. He gave me change.
Change, yeah.
So I didn't even know the value of 50 Ghana.
Yeah.
I did not know that 50 Ghana was like maybe equivalent of like 5,000 naira.
Yeah.
Because I know that there is no taxi guy in Nigeria that you give, even if a 1,000 naira, you give him 1,000 naira, that's like, let's say back then, like 10 Ghana. You give him 10 Ghana and they'll give you change. They'll probably like insult you and your generation, like, why are you giving me 1,000 for like a one Ghana fare or so? Why are you giving So I didn't even know the value of the currency. Probably that's the most exciting part, that I stayed like 2 weeks or so in Ghana before I got to know the value of the currency. Because like the taxi guy I gave that 50 Ghana, I swear I could have left the guy without taking change, because I didn't even know what I was
Giving. No, you don't give yourself like you
I didn't know what I was holding. So I think I got to enjoy my first day and even my first year in Ghana. Everything was before the economy started.
Okay, before we get to that point, okay, let us know your schooling experience in Ghana as a foreigner.
Honestly, I did feel bad though about the experience in general, because we had these lecturers that it's like there was one like when you are in Nigerian, everything becomes more expensive.
Wow.
A Ghanaian student would want to do something and they'll just, with the language and everything is normal price. But you as a Nigerian, you want to do the same thing, and it's like you have to start negotiating from a higher.
What's a foreigner?
Yeah.
I mean, why do you expect to enjoy the same benefit with a local?
I think it was painful. Like, in fact, the fact that we could not even pay in cedi, that the first time that we always had to change our money from naira to cedis to dollar, or naira to dollar, or whatever. That was, God, it was crazy. See, I enjoyed the fact that there were no strikes, right? I have to give it up to Ghana, right? Yeah, I have to give it up to Ghana. But actually, when it comes to the quality of the education, like education-wise, at some point I felt disappointed when I saw that, like as an oil and gas student, I got to see that some of our course materials were from Nigeria, like from Futo in Imo State, and I'm like, what am I like? I'm seeing it clearly written there, Futo. Like I'm like they are sourcing materials from Nigerian
schools. So is it bad
schools.
for them to source materials from Nigerian school? What are you trying to say?
No, I'm saying I felt bad that I could have just gone to a Nigerian school, like at a lower price.
All the courses they studied was all from Nigerian school.
See, I studied oil and gas engineering, right? And then I got to, like, it just dawned on me that the oil and gas sector in Nigeria is way more advanced than that of Ghana. And oil and gas engineering as a course, like, was more recent. I think All Nations was like one of the few private universities that was offering oil and gas petroleum engineering and all that. So I think you had tech and you had, I don't know, they gone or so. But I just felt bad at some point that at some point I felt like I was wasting money. Yeah, because I'm like,
and that was like the last minute, like when you're almost graduating.
Yeah, and I'm like, no, it's not even when I was graduating. I think it was when I did my internship in my 5th semester. Yeah, when I did my internship, I was like, I had to tell some of my friends that I'm not sure I'm coming back, because like it is obvious that what they are doing over here in Nigeria, right, is like, is it like, so if you just take away the strikes and all the whatever aside, I think the quality of the education itself, I didn't really see things being more expensive for me as a Nigerian student, and me having to, for example, I think one of the worst experiences was having to apply for remarking of script, right? I did that only once. This lecturer gave me a B, like B. Yeah. And I applied for a market, right?
Okay.
And I got an A, like A minus though. I think maybe he didn't want to just give me the
Okay.
A.
Okay.
And okay, that was like 50 Ghana then for a marking.
Okay.
The next time I
You
went
pay
out,
in cities?
yes,
Okay.
like that's the first time, right?
Okay.
Then
Okay.
the next time, like there was a case like that.
Yeah.
This guy said that for one paper was it $200 or what? And I'm like, how on earth did this thing move from 50 cities to $200? Because $200 as at then was like almost like 600 Ghana or so. I'm like, wait, are you trying to discourage me from
The remarking.
the remarking or things I just like I really didn't get it. So because of that, I think there were some courses that I would have scored higher if I went on because I remember like three credit hour courses that I would have applied for remarking, but the price was I was like, I beg, I don't have to graduate with first class. It's fine. It's fine, you know. So, but I loved my stay. I enjoyed my stay in Ghana. I enjoyed the Ghanaians I got to meet. Like it was beautiful. It was a beautiful experience being among like and however they were accommodating, right? Yeah, they were accommodating. I have fond memories and all that. So, but probably it's just this whole dollar thingy and the economy. Maybe it's the economy that influenced the school to make those kind of decisions or so. But otherwise, I was cool, like free flowing, one semester to the next, to the next, to the next, you know. And then, yes, I got to. Am I fast forwarding you? Because
No, no, no. You
I
told me.
got
I asked you a question. You.
because I enjoyed going to eat the local food
Okay.
with my friends. So it's part of the highlight of being a
So
student in
you're very one of
Ghana.
those people that used to select food. I don't eat this. I don't eat this. I want to
Oh
eat.
no, I ate the local food.
What was your favorite?
Fufu and
Light.
light soup. Thank you.
Why do
Yeah,
you Nigerians like that soup?
see,
Like why?
fufu and light soup and those big goat meats, right? So
Abonchi?
I didn't even know like those things are so expensive. And I was initially I was just going, you know, I was just buying it them and I was even buying from here and some friends. And then when I became broke, I was like, okay, where is my money like disappearing from, you know? And I was like, you bought light soup, fufu and
Goat meat.
goat meat like 3 times a week for like
Wow.
oh, you know. Yeah. But it was my favorite was definitely fufu. Yeah. And the fufu is so nice. Like no, like if it comes to the fufu, I think I have to admit that their fufu is better than the one in Nigeria. Yeah. Like for me, oh
You seem to
yeah,
like violence.
yeah.
You chose violence.
Oh
Come
no,
on,
I'm
please.
giving them this one now because if it comes to the jollof rice,
Okay.
we won that
Guys,
one.
please don't come for him.
So if it's jollof rice, like we won it, right? Like in fact, right now I'm planning to go to Senegal because I heard
Okay, yeah,
that
they're jollof.
they said Senegal is the origin of jollof rice or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how true, but their food, their jollof rice better be better than Ghanaian jollof rice. If not, no. But come to think of it, how will I go to Senegal just for jollof rice?
Some people do that, like adventure. People actually do that.
Jollof rice adventure. God.
You've spoken at length, like you've taken everything from my mouth, like you've taken everything.
Omo.
Like
No, Ghana
you're
was
moving faster than your shadow, but it's fine.
Ghana was
When was the last time you were in Ghana? The last time, or when?
okay. So when I finished in 2017.
Okay.
I didn't take my certificate. I didn't attend my graduation.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't even care about the whole thing. So, like, not like I was going to school. Like, I just
You didn't care about it.
yeah, because at some point I was not sure of what I wanted to do with my life. So I didn't want to just because whatever. See, honestly, whatever you find it for your hands to do, you would have to like spend a lot of time doing that same thing for you to be balanced, well grounded, and for you to even start earning well. You know. So I was like, what should it be? If I go into oil and gas engineering, like I'll have to grow through the ladder. That's years, right? Am I willing to? Is this what I want to do for like
The rest of your life.
yeah, or maybe for the next 20 years of my life or whatever? So I was like, let me all leave the certificates. Let me go back, try my hands on one or two things, and maybe along the way I will just figure out, okay, that this particular thing was what I wanted to do, you know. So I left my certificate, and when I realized what I wanted to do, I had to go back to Ghana to take my certificate.
Okay,
So the
okay.
last time I was in Ghana was January 2020.
Wow.
Yeah,
3 years ago.
oh, it's 3 years already,
It's three
bro.
years already. How time flies, like
I thought it was two
three
or something.
years.
Okay, but anyways, yeah.
That's
So January
2020.
2020, yeah, and I stayed there for like 3 days or so.
Okay, so let me ask you this. I won't call it controversial. You see, in life,
Yeah,
things do not always go as smooth
plan,
as
yeah.
yeah. Sometimes we have some is it some gallop or
Roller coaster.
yeah. So did you get to experience any challenges as a foreigner living in Ghana? I mean, this is a general. It's not based on school. I mean, living in Ghana
Okay,
as
living in
a
Ghana.
Nigerian or as a
Oh yeah,
foreigner.
I think it's the profiling.
Okay.
Yeah, because when people say things like Niger boy, like you,
In a fun way or in a mockery way, like
no, like when there is a crime,
okay,
you are the
highlight.
go-to suspect. So I did my possible best to never have like an issue with like law enforcement or whatever because almost like when they are like God, if something gets missing also, the first suspect is a Nigerian male, right? I don't know if you didn't experience anything like that, but it was just a thing of and I do not blame them in a way. Maybe they got to experience like different wrongdoings by some Nigerians, but that generalization that Niger boys, like, oh, he's a Niger guy, or you want to rent a house somewhere and they're like, oh, I don't give my house to Nigerians. I'm like, what? Like, what did I do? Okay, you Nigerians, you did this, you did it. I'm like, but you've not even given me a chance,
Chance.
no opportunity, you just profile us. And so that profiling, I don't know, maybe if it was in Europe or America, they'll probably call it racism, or I don't know what other names they call it, right? But that profiling of,
Nigerian.
yeah, it was bad. Like I felt it though. Like there are some persons and some Ghanaians were like so like they're so serious about profiling and like you don't even get the opportunity to speak or whatever and when they want to do that they don't even communicate with you in English. They
Yeah.
start talking to other people with in Chi or and all that and you're like you can code that something is
It's
not
good. Yeah.
yeah but so that profiling was I think it was probably the worst
So apart
experience.
from the profiling, was there any other thing that you had challenge as a foreigner in Ghana, or
Hmm.
that was the only thing, or the only major thing you?
No, at first it was communication barrier.
Okay.
Yeah, but as time
Time.
went on,
Yeah.
at least
Can you teach you? Me teach you.
ah
Kaka kaka.
me pacho nchinambaku nkantinkwan. Okay, actually
Yeah,
like
person.
Kanza,
Yeah,
Kanza,
person.
Kanza.
I'm asking what's your name?
Oh, what is Umuti saying? What is that?
I want to say. I want to say is like.
Yeah, you see. So we are in the same boat.
No, we're not the same God. No, don't put me
Okay,
in the same
with
group with
that.
you, please.
Okay, I think I learned the tree that we used to order food with, So the ones for ordering
Oh,
food.
okay, the one for ordering food.
Yeah, that's one I'm like. So you go there and you'll be like Bankumienu, Nchinam, Mienu, and then
Aponchi.
Kotomire.
Uh-huh.
Oh god. Hey, Kotomire. Yeah, so I just learned the ones for ordering food basically.
I was even coming to ask you this part. Schooling in Ghana
Okay.
as in Nigeria, some Nigerians or some foreigners,
Yeah.
they, apart from school, they took it upon themselves to really have fun in Ghana.
Yeah.
Like, did you get to like experience Ghana apart from Takoradi, or it was just
Oh no
Takoradi
no no
you?
no no.
Where did you get to travel to? Let's go.
Okay, I traveled to Cape Coast,
Okay.
Kumasi, Tema, and okay, Accra is
Accra,
yeah,
Accra,
Accra.
is out because
Yeah, then,
Accra is
okay,
out.
so there's this place in the eastern region that I can't remember the name, but I know it was not Koforidua. It was another part of the. But if I hear the name, I remember.
What
But
happens there?
I think we went for it was poetry that took us there. Yeah, so
We're
Um,
coming to this poetry part. We're
oh
coming to
yeah.
this part.
So it was okay. Basically, poetry took me to the different places I
Oh,
went to.
really? Wow.
Yeah, except Cape Coast. Cape Coast, I went there for to see
Leisure.
the Elmina and the
Okay.
Kakum National
Yeah,
Park.
okay.
Yeah. So that was fun. Kakum was fun. In fact, Cape Coast is beautiful. God, like Cape Coast is like Cape Coast
So,
is it. You
so let
know.
me ask you one question. If you have like an opportunity now to go back to Ghana,
Yeah.
where would you like to visit?
Oh, okay. I think I would love to visit Cape Coast again.
Again?
Oh,
Really?
sure. Like actually, like spend like 2 days, just move
Going
around,
around.
and and then I would love to visit Takwa.
Papa, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So Takwa, Takoradi.
Have you been to Kumasi?
Yeah, I've been to Kumasi. That's Kwame Nkrumah, right?
Oh, yeah. That's true. Have you
Yeah.
been to Takoradi?
No. So if should I go back? I think Cape Coast, Takwa, Takoradi. Just
How about the northern region, like the Upper East, the
uh, I
Tanga, the
well, I don't know about the northern part though, but
yeah.
the voter,
Okay, yeah.
voter region. I think I would love to. Yeah, the voter region, they have the dam, right? The dam.
Yeah.
So,
Akosombo.
of course.
Akosombo
Thank
is
you.
Eastern region, no. That's not Volta.
Oh,
But
I'm
it's
going
in
with
between. I think
okay.
it's between Eastern and Volta.
Yeah,
Guys,
but
please correct me in the comment section so I don't
okay,
get
but I would love to visit Akosombo because
Akosombo.
yeah, I heard about it a lot. I think there was an excursion sometime, but I was not part of the crew that went there. So Cape Coast, Takwa, Takrade, Akosombo, yeah, and Osu.
Also is Accra.
That particular part,
Also, okay, yeah.
I don't know for one reason or the other. The Almighty Osu,
Yeah.
I never got to. I don't know why. Like, why didn't I visit Osu? Like, why?
No, I think because you came to school, you didn't come to explore,
I
Ghana,
mean,
that's why. But now, I feel if you're coming back, you're not coming to school, rather you're
oh
coming to
yeah.
explore
Oh
Ghana.
surely.
Yeah. So let's move over to this